Hello and welcome on Thomas Geiger Car. Today with the new Volkswagen Touareg, a car that has a difficult role to play because it not only has to compete against Audi Q7, Mercedes GLE or BMW X5, it also has to replace the flagship sedan Phaeton that was taken out of production about 2 years ago. And it still has to stay a Volkswagen, means a somehow affordable car. How this car could handle all these challenges and what you might expect from the model that is coming to the market later that summer. That's what we're gonna find out here on Thomas Geiger Car on the first test drive. So come on, join me and I'll tell you more about it. The drive with the Touareg is definitely more on the comfortable side, especially if you equip the vehicle with all the technology available. It's not only 100 kilo lighter than the outgoing model, it is also way more agile due to the available rear wheel steering, and it is more comfortable and more relaxed due to an air suspension. Again, a point where it's close to a limousine, and that's what Volkswagen's striving for. As the new flagship model of the Volkswagen brand, the new Touareg is equipped with all the driver assistance systems that are available to the group. So you can almost drive autonomously, you can almost park autonomously, you have a camera view out of almost every angle, and for the first time in a Volkswagen, you also have a night vision system that lights up the darkest night and shows you everything on an infrared screen. Pretty impressive and really a big step forward, and another point that gets the Touareg pretty close to the premium competitors from BMW, Audi and Mercedes. In Europe, the Touareg will start with 3-liter V6 engines. First with 2 diesels, 231 and 286 horsepower, and from autumn on with a V6 petrol engine out of 340 horsepower. And the coolest engine might come early next year, 4-liter V8 diesel that we know from Audi Q7 with 421 horsepower. The only weak point in the engine lineup is the lack of a plug-in hybrid. It will come in China early next year, but to Europe it will not come before the end of next year. And it's still not clear if it's a V6 plug-in hybrid or a 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid. And maybe it would not come at all. So that is something Volkswagen should figure out pretty soon. My absolute favorite of the new Touareg is the so-called InnoVision cockpit, because now we not only have the big digital cluster instrument behind the steering wheel, we also have a 15-inch touchscreen aside of it, and together that is a CinemaScope cockpit that even drives Tesla driver crazy out of jealousy, because that is something you will not get in any other car on the market. And it does not only look good, it's also easy to use, because I can touch, slide, scroll, zoom as I can do it on an iPad or an iPhone, and I can even change the menu like I do it on an iPhone. Just clicking on an icon and moving it around. It has never been so easy to set up the car to your personal liking. Something that really makes a difference, and something that I would have expected from Tesla or from Audi, but definitely not from Volkswagen. A real surprise to me. Talking about the design of the Touareg, it's a typical Volkswagen. That means lots of chrome and pride at the grille, but the rest is pretty solid, let's say it like that. Not many lines, not very fancy, but built for eternity. And the car got a bit bigger. It is 4 centimeters wider than before and 8 centimeters longer. So it measures now 4 meters, 88 centimeters. And that is something you really feel when you sit inside, especially on the back seat. Again, a point where the engineers try to replace the Phaeton and give the people, especially in the back seat, a kind of limousine ride. But that's something we're going to figure out once we get inside the car. If you compare the outgoing model and the new Touareg, you really feel a difference on the back seat. Due to the increased wheelbase and the length of the car, it is really a comfortable place that you can use for hours and hours on long distance driving. And it's also a difference to Terramont or the US full-size SUV Atlas. Because here you got not only space, you got also a kind of luxury with the material, color and trim. And you got a versatility because you can adjust the rear seat and slide it for 15 centimeters in both directions. Means you'll find your own balance between legroom and luggage space. And talking about luggage space, that has increased dramatically. More than 100 liters bigger than in the outgoing model. And if you have the rear seat in the most advanced position, it is over 800 liters underneath the cover. If you open the cover, fold down the rear seat, this car is almost a lorry. Thank you for joining me on that first test drive with Volkswagen Touareg, a car that for me really fits at the top end of the Volkswagen model lineup, and a car that is somehow different to the other premium SUVs because it is as luxurious, as comfortable and as technology advanced as many of the competitors, but it's way more comfortable. It's more the limousine amongst the SUVs, and so it is the perfect replacement for the long since gone Volkswagen Phaeton. And it is as closest as you can get to a Mercedes, BMW or an Audi in a Volkswagen. So for me, it's one of the best choices in its segment. Thank you, Tschüss and goodbye.